Okay, so this week's been a big one, and I was sitting here doing my work and I thought, you know what? It's actually worth bringing you guys into this journey and this company that we're building. So for context, we're building Insert Frame, otherwise known as the Framerverse, an ecosystem of products and education for Framer. Now, you've probably seen a lot of content from me here on Twitter and YouTube, and you're probably familiar with a bunch of our different products, from Framer Forms to our masterclass to even coming soon, Shopify for Framer. And we have a team of 7 people, which is just like insane to think about, that like we can create products for another company essentially, and grow a team around that. So this week's been a little bit crazy already. We've done a bunch of stuff, but I thought, you know what, we've got to bring you guys more behind the scenes so you can actually see what it takes to build a business off of Framer. So yeah, here we are inside my little studio. You'll probably get used to this sort of setup here. We're doing a bunch of stuff today. It's currently Friday. We're going to be doing some filming today. We've got Tom from our team coming over to help me do that. And then outside of that, we've actually just finished up a big couple of days. So on Wednesday, we hosted our first in-person Framer workshop. Here's a few different highlights from that. So that event was super awesome. We had about 35 people there. The engagement was like really incredible. Everyone felt just like super passionate about what they were doing too. We learned a ton from it as well, which is super important. And we even flew in our Framer expert on the team, Wes, who's in Queensland. So we're in Melbourne. So we flew him in just for this event as well. And then yesterday we did a bunch of filming here at my place with the rest of the team, because we're actually putting together a new accelerator course on how to build a business with Framer and grow it to $10,000 a month and beyond. But yeah, right now I'm just preparing for another video, so I'm going to keep going with that. And yeah. Now, it has been a couple of pretty big days and I am pretty wrecked, but I just thought I'd show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of kind of how we operate as a remote first team. So most people kind of use Slack, and we do use Slack for some things, but internally we actually use Discord for all our communications as a team. So you can just kind of see our channel here. Some of the photos are here from the other nights from our workshop, which is awesome. We had this really cool venue in the city and we had like a really cool skyline at night, and the room was filled. And you can see, here we go, we've got some of our team members floating around here, which was awesome. But yeah, we basically just use Discord for everything. We have like all these different channels set up for different projects and things that we're working on. So all our communication is pretty streamlined. Now there is one more team member that I haven't actually talked about. I said we had 7 team members, but it is technically 8, because we have this guy here who is Potato, who is, funnily enough, also our #1 most used custom emoji inside of Discord. Potato. Okay, go back to doing work. If you like this video and you want more if you like this video and you want more Framer content like this, consider subscribing to the channel, because we're putting out more Framer content every single week until the end of 2024. And if you're interested in more Framer plugins, check out our plugins below. We've got a couple on the marketplace already. And if you're interested in Framer plugins, check out our...
Maybe we should do a tour of the room of the, you know, the sparsity here. There's no chairs, there's no, even the dog's on the ground, look. I wish I could be sleeping, that'd be... Anyway, what have we been doing? I don't really know what Ryan wants me to do.
We've been trying to organise camera gear.
Trying to organise camera gear. So we're kind of wondering with the setup. Well, actually, no, we've got the picture frame here, which had a bit of an incident yesterday, shall we say, where we hung it up, and I might have told Ryan that it probably was going to fall down, and then lo and behold, about half an hour later, it fell down, and I think we all had a heart attack. And I think that was actually right after I'd been sitting underneath this picture frame. So I'm glad I moved. I would have been able to see you, Ryan, for a lot of money. But yeah, at the moment we're trying to organise what gear we're going to get for this room. Ryan wants to make it into a studio, which I think is going to end up being very well. We've got a kind of temporary setup at the moment with my camera and microphone. It works, and I think it looks okay, but we're planning on getting a few lights, a nice tripod, and Ryan's going to get a new camera, which is going to look schmicko. Look very much looking forward to that. And then yeah, maybe get a few more things in here, maybe a bit more permanent picture hanging solution for the wall.
Yeah.
But I think the rough plan is to have something up on the wall, like picture frame or whatnot, and then an accent light coming up and filling up the rest of the wall as well. And then I think over here it's going to be pretty empty, maybe a few like ambient lights, like we've got this one here as well, a few ambient lights, and then over here we'll either use the ring light and maybe some backfill lights to kind of create a bit of separation from the white wall when Ryan's like sitting here doing all this presenting. So it's all it's still very much in the planning phase. But it's going to be good. Yeah. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to stop pretending like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I'll just dump it into, maybe I'll just forward it to you.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so one of the things we've just started to kick off is doing a bit of a brand refresh for Insert Frame. So we're actually using an external creative agency to partner with us to actually do this. One of the things I've started to found within our products, and even like basically anything visual that goes out with the brand, is there's a lot of very small inconsistencies. Things from like the typography sizes to how we use different assets and colors and basically everything in between. And I think as we kind of move towards being less of a day one sort of, get it done startup and a little bit more into being an established brand, we actually need to just refresh our identity so we can actually be ready for that next chapter. And it also means like internally we can actually move a bit quicker as well, because at the moment there's really no guidelines, which means we're just kind of throwing stuff into Figma or Framer and just hoping it kind of sticks. So I think like going through this process, and I'll share a couple of clips of a meeting we had yesterday to give you a little bit more context. But I just think doing a bit more of a brand refresh and getting us ready for that next chapter is going to be really important as we start to scale. The problem that I think we're starting to run into, and Gus and Georgia will be very good at attesting to this, is that we're very inconsistent as a brand. We behave like a startup, we act like a startup, but everything is just day one, which is good, right? And I don't think we want to lose that from our DNA, but it also actually means that as we scale and as we bring on more people and more customers get involved, actually creates problems. So I think one of the big things that we want to do is refresh the brand. Okay, so Tom's left now. It's almost 4 o'clock and it's a Friday, so I'm probably going to start to wrap up in just a few minutes. I think what I'll do is just edit this video so it could come out, and then yeah, we'll kind of call it a wrap on the day. So there's a bit of stuff that I didn't get to film today too. We did a bunch of conference planning for next year, which I can't share too much about, but a part of that was like setting up some of the gear and just organizing for a bit of that. Tom and I also looked at some product stuff today and just getting some of our Framer plugins ready to go. And then off the back of that, it was just another meeting, and then also just bouncing between a few different tasks and comms with the rest of the team. But yeah, hopefully this gave you a little bit more insight into what it means to build a Framer-led business. Obviously, we're a remote first company. We have a few team members here in Melbourne, but we also have people in the US and different states. But yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's a really exciting time. We're doing a lot, we're creating a lot of impact. I just think the more we can kind of bring you guys in on that journey, the better. So if you do want more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel and we'll make more of it. But until next time, I'll see you on the next Framer tutorial. It's been a big week.